This is the old Sauer Beckman farm. This is the old Sauer Beckman farm at the LBJ ranch. We're going into the farm.
We've been here a few times before, and this is always one of the highlights of the tour of the LBJ ranch. It's the way the farmers used to live back in the 1860s. It's really very fascinating.
We're walking into the farm now, into the houses and the barn. Here's the old farmhouse.
Waffle maker.
Is it a waffle iron?
Yes.
Isn't that interesting? And here you see some of the implements and the canning.
We've just arrived at the ranch house at the LBJ ranch, and they have just recently opened his office that he calls the Texas White House, which is just the main office room in the house, and we're going to go see that. And actually it's not until next month that they're going to open the rest of the house, but I've been wanting to see this for a long time, and they finally opened it after Lady Bird passed away, so I'm looking forward to it.
He and Jack Kennedy hunted down the back seat of that car when they were campaigning, and he put skid plates underneath to protect the undercarriage. He put the little disc on the front bumper to protect the radiator. And in the back seat he installed 4 gun racks, and we know it was his favorite vehicle because he also installed a wet bar. You'll see them on the road as you go out, and keep in mind they have the right of way. They know it. They'll test your patience. They'll just stand there and wait an appropriate amount of time before they let you go by. How do you spell Perdinalis?
Not the way you say it. P-E-R-D-E-R-N-A-L-I-S.
It's spelled P-E-D-E-R, but we pronounce it Perdinalis.
Perdinalis.
It means Shining Rock River. It was named by the early explorers because they found a lot of arrowheads and points around here. The Native Americans lived here long before the Europeans showed up. It looks nice and calm now, but don't be fooled by it. We average about 17 inches of rain a year. And occasionally that all happens in 1 hour. When that happens upstream, we have trouble here. What I'm going to do now is walk you down on the road on the other side. Now, see the little white guard shack over there? When Kennedy was assassinated, the Secret Service had to come in here and secure this place. The first effort was that little guard shack plus one at each end of the road. That one washed completely away last May. We found it about 2 miles downstream up in the top of a live oak tree. This is the original house, the old stone building. This house was bought by the Johnsons in 1951 from his aunt. She was a widow, had been a widow for 15 years, and had really let the place run down. She couldn't maintain it. They bought it in 51, but they couldn't move in until 52. That's how bad the shape was in. The original house is an old farmhouse that's been added onto many times. And it goes from that stone portion down to the bay windows. The rest they've added since they moved in, and I'll explain that to you with Dick Kleberg when he was elected to the house. So he worked his way through. He finally came back and got his degree there. After which the doctor told him to knock it off and start exercising. He never quit smoking. And as far as exercise went, he built this pool, and Lady Bird loved to swim. He preferred to sit in the shallow end and play with the dogs and the grandkids. Came through in 1959, he gave us this saddle. This room was locked up after Linda's death in '73. Then, after a year, Lady Bird turned it into a family room by lowering the ceiling, putting in some fans, painting some of the panels. After her death, we turned it back to what you're seeing today, as it was when it was the Texas White House. Over here, this desk was given to Lyndon Johnson when he left the Senate to become our vice president. His eyeglasses are still laying in the center of it. That black chair is his vice presidential chair. That's his presidential flag. The clocks behind there would have been...
Boy, I tell you, that house was worth the trip. I mean, the office was added, I think in '63 or '64, his office was, and I mean, his wife added it to keep all of his dignitaries out of her way, so to speak. But it was just really impressive. Highly recommend coming to see it. Well, we're getting ready to leave the Johnson Ranch. It's been perfect weather. It's just beautiful. Everything's green. There's very few people out here, so we really almost had the run of the place to ourselves. And as I said earlier, they just opened the Texas White House, just the one office, the main office, and they're opening the rest of it. They'll be opening that in June next month. But it's just a really nice place. I mean, I can see why LBJ insisted on coming out here. I think they said he came out here like 57 times during his presidency. And I know if I was president, I would have come out more than that. It's just beautiful.
This is the cemetery at the LBJ Ranch, and you're looking at the final resting place of LBJ and Lady Bird. The flowers. Oh, yeah. The flowers you see are the grave of Lady Bird. She does not have a stone at this time. And next to the flowers, the large stone is LBJ. Yes, this here is the beautiful LBJ Ranch. The Pertinalis River is beyond the ridge over there, and if you look carefully, you'll see the Lutheran Church in the distance. That's on the opposite side of the river. This has got to be the most beautiful place in the world, and such a gorgeous day. We're standing next to the cemetery of the Johnson Ranch, and this is a beautiful, beautiful oak stand right here. Very shady and cool. The temperature is probably about 78 degrees. Very, very nice day here in Texas.
Well, we're on our way back from LBJ's ranch, and we're at the Blanco State Park, and we're looking at the Blanco River here. And Jack was showing me earlier where he used to camp up the hill over there. And anyway, I didn't realize this was over here.
It's such a peaceful place.
I would like to just sit down somewhere and kind of watch all of this.
Yeah, just sit here and enjoy this gorgeous view here.
Gosh.
The beautiful Blanco River.
Yeah.
We can go find a table.
Okay.